All right, hi everyone. Welcome to Yoga for Everybody. Let's begin by getting comfortable. This will be about a 50 to 55-minute session today. So you can start seated, or you're also welcome to start lying down on your back, maybe have a pillow or a blanket to get comfortable. Let's take the first couple minutes to work on getting comfortable. From wherever you are, let's first bring awareness to the comfort in the hips. This is considered the foundation for the physical body through the practice. Maybe let the hips shift a little bit left and right. So if you're lying on the floor, you can kind of rock side to side on the tailbone and sacrum area. And if you're seated, you can shift side to side and even forward and back. If you're lying down, maybe tilt your pelvis forward, pull the belly button in, pull the tailbone up and back a little bit, and just sort of figure out where your body is noticing the most comfort today. Once you get into that place, know that it can change anytime. So we're letting go of the notion that we are staying balanced. It is more common for the body to want to shift. So there really is no perfect place that we have to stay in. At any time, you can shift and move and work on centering yourself, self soothing to create comfort in the practice. From wherever you are, bring both hands onto your belly. And as you inhale, feel the belly button pushing into the hands. Exhale, draw the navel and the belly button in towards the spine. Let's keep that rhythmic movement of the body with the breath. Inhale, pressing the navel into the hands. And then exhale, pulling the navel in tight towards the spine. If your mind is very busy, first, congratulate yourself for noticing your mind is busy. Sometimes we don't even stop long enough to notice the busyness in our heads. So if you notice your mind is busy, maybe just say to yourself, ah, yes, there is my busy brain. There it is. Maybe begin to focus or saturate that energy to one point, to the awareness of the breath. As you inhale, count each moment that is passing with that breath. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, counting 4, however long the inhale is in the body. Pause for a moment and maybe just embrace that breath. Notice how it feels to be full with the breath. Are there any parts of the body that appear closed off? Are there any places that are more open, expanding with the breath? Just notice there's no judgment in it and there's no right or wrong. When the body is ready to release that breath, exhale, pull the navel in. The exhale is fairly passive and we'll add in just a little bit of effort as the breath leaves the body. So we'll pull the belly button in just a little bit tighter so that we're able to press up and out any stress, any tension, any stagnant energy that might be hiding in the body. Let's practice this a few more times. Inhaling, filling the belly with the breath, push the navel into your hands. Pause, embrace the breath for as long as it feels right for you. This is different from holding your breath. So we're not holding it to wait for anything. We're just taking a moment to pause, embrace that life force, and notice what you feel without judgment. Then exhale, the breath moves up and out from the throat or the nose. Then add in just that little bit of belly contraction, squeezing out, wringing out any tension or stress that might be trying to hide in the body. When you're ready, inhale again, nose or mouth, and count the length of the inhale. Hold it, then count the length of the exhale. Let's try this for about another full minute, observing just about a minute of quiet time. If you are seated, let's take a moment to lie down on our backs with the knees bent. With the knees bent and the spine neutral, this is known as a constructive resting pose. It shortens the muscles in the hip and it shortens some of the muscles in the low back and legs. So this is considered one of the most calming positions for the nervous system in the body. Let's take a moment and maybe reach the arms up overhead with the palms up. You can always bend the elbows. If you're noticing any pain or discomfort at all in your shoulders, simply bringing the arms down or closer to the body. We're moving the backs of the hands towards the floor. And in some cases, this can be a little painful. So maybe take the hands away from the floor a little bit. And of course, the arms can be at any height to accommodate. The shoulders can be really anatomically complex. There's a lot of rotation, flexion, a lot of different movements that go on in the shoulder joints. So take your time to explore where the most comfortable position is for the hands and the arms. From here, let's slowly lower the hands, just being mindful of comfort in the body. As we inhale, let's lift the hips slowly away from the mat. The feet are about hips width, maybe a little wider. Imagine a yoga block or a small ball between the knees that you can squeeze while you engage the glutes and lift the hips into bridge pose. When you're ready, exhale, lower the hips. Let's inhale the arms overhead. Big breath in. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower the hips. So let's continue to alternate these movements, upper body and lower body. Inhale, arms overhead, stretching the sides of the lungs. Exhale, hands come down, nice and slow. Inhale, lifting the hips away from the floor. Exhale, slowly lowering the hips. Let's continue with this rhythm and think of this style of yoga like a choreographed dance. So In dance, we would have movements choreographed rhythmically to the rhythm of music. In Vinyasa Yoga, we have movements that are matching the rhythm of our breath. So every inhale, every exhale has a movement that is specific to that breathing cycle. Notice if there's any rush or sense of urgency, encouraging the body to slow down, embrace each breath, move just a little slower so there's more time for the body to process the feelings. Let's do one more of each. Absolutely no rush. We're warming up some of the largest muscle groups in the body without a lot of pressure on the bones and joints this way. The next time your hips are down and the hands are down, let's draw just the left knee to the chest and bring it straight in. So we want to feel that the thigh is pressing against the lower stomach. If it feels uncomfortable or if you're noticing pain on the inside of your hip, bring that knee just a little bit out to the side. It's almost like half of a dead bug pose or half of a happy baby pose. From here, let's roll out the ankle and we'll point and flex that foot. The ankle is higher than the heart, so this is used specifically to promote drainage, lymphatic drainage, and healthy circulation. When you're ready, slowly bring that left foot down to the floor. Let's lift the right knee straight in towards the chest. Again, we could always bring it out to the side. As long as we keep pressing down into that left hip, we're keeping both hips anchored to the earth. Maybe roll out that foot and ankle, promoting lymphatic drainage through the body. So just a interesting fact about the lymphatic system in the body. So lymphatic fluid is partially responsible for capturing illnesses, and the white blood cells can, attack or kill illnesses and bad cells. Also, it helps to dump out trash from the body. Interesting fact is this particular system only functions when different muscles contract and expand to move the fluid through the body. So we have to move for that fluid to drain effectively. When you're ready, let's bring the right knee to center, lower the foot down to the floor. Let's take our hands out like a T with the palms down for a moment, pressing down into the earth. You might even feel that there's a little lift of your ribs and your chest. If this is painful at all, bend your arms and push down into the floor with your elbows to get that lift of your chest and ribs. So we're opening up all of the adrenal glands and the lymphatic nodes and the drainage of the stomach this way. So we're going to push down with the hands or with the elbows. Keep your tailbone and hips pressing into the floor and just pull the ribs up and away from the earth. Take in a big exaggerated breath here. And then exhale, let it go. Let's do two more like that. Inhale, feel your collarbone and sternum pulling up towards the ceiling. The chest is pulling up away from the floor. Exhale, relax. One more. Breathe in through the nose or the mouth. And then exhale. When you're ready, let's let the knees sway left and right. Notice if it feels more comfortable to twist to one side versus the other. And just go ahead and hold it on one side just for a moment, just with the knees. So we're working a gentle stretch into your low back or hip. We'll start with the side that feels like it may need it the most. When you're ready, take your time, take it over to the other side, nice and slow. Now, this is squeezing, massaging kidneys and adrenals in the body. Breathe into those places that feel most open to receive your breath. When you're ready, let's bring the knees to center. Hug both knees straight in towards the chest. Let's hold on behind the knees, behind the thighs, maybe the sides of the leg, moving straight in. And hopefully we feel just a little bit of pressure here on the belly. If you're not noticing an active amount of pressure, or maybe the body is uncomfortable coming in this close, you can always grab a larger pillow or blanket to kind of give you a little bit of extra filling in of the space. And then as you bring your knees in, you will feel just a little bit more compression into the gut. Now, this gentle belly press or this gentle compression, you might notice a little bit of tenderness. We definitely want to avoid anything that makes it feel invasive or painful in any way. So the larger the squeeze, the more you might start to feel tenderness, maybe just 30% effort on that squeeze. When you're ready, slowly lower the feet. Let's let the knees sway a little bit. Take your time and roll over to one side. Let's lie on one side. Easy does it. Drawing the knees in close, maybe even feeling as if you're curling up into a little ball on your side. Breathe into your low back. Inhale into the low back, through the middle back, and then up between the shoulder blades. Breathe up under the shoulder blades. Again, inhale through the nose or the mouth. Exhale from the nose or the mouth. Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing at this point. As long as we're breathing, we're doing yoga. Breath is the foundation for any practice, any physical activity, any part of the physical body begins with a good breath. So just keep breathing. When you're ready, notice the top hand for support. Let's slowly begin to come up into seated. We might want to sit on a pillow or even a yoga block to elevate the hips a little bit. I'm choosing a pillow today. You could also use a rolled up blanket. A yoga bolster also works nicely. So we're drawing our prop in. And notice that all of us have what I like to call just a little bit of a tipping point in the hips with this. So we want to sit a little bit on the edge of our prop. That way you feel that there's a little bit of a push back of the hips. And this will draw the ribs forward and up slightly when we do this. While you're here, notice the comfort in your legs. If there's a lot of rounding in your back, bend those knees. So having the legs straight is completely optional for the next few movements. From here, you can lift the toes or make the feet flat. Just check in with the comfort of your ankles. From wherever you are, let's hold on to the sides of the thighs. And as we inhale, we're pulling forward and up through the ribs, opening up the throat, stretching around the jawline. Inhaling through the nose or mouth. Open the mouth and exhale as if you're going to fog a mirror. Let's try that 2 more times. Inhaling into the nose or mouth. And then exhale with a ha. One more. pulling the ribs up. Exhale from the throat. When you're ready, come to center with the spine. Let's take the right arm up. Big reach with the right arm, reaching straight up towards the sky. Imagine you're holding on to maybe 100 helium balloons. So there's this sensation of being pulled towards the sky. At the same time, press down into your right hip. So we're going to anchor that energy in the lower body while we're reaching up. Now notice that there's this stretch at the waistline. That's where you get those opposite energies that are slightly intersecting and yet pulling from each other. You could always put the left hand down on the floor and push into that left hand. It'll help us ground into that right hip a little more. We can look up, very traditional. Also the most strenuous on the neck as it's against gravity. We could look straight ahead in the direction of the heart, neutral on the neck, or you can experiment with looking just slightly to the left and looking down, maybe even towards your left hand on the floor. Let's breathe mostly into the upper right lung and maybe even feel as if the breath is pushing up against your ribs under the right armpit. One more big breath. Exhale, let's lower that right hand down. When you're ready, inhale, turn the left palm up, reach straight up to the sky with that left hand. Inhale, reaching again, imagining we're holding on to about 100 helium balloons. Take the right hand down to the floor next to your right hip. Push into that hand so it drops energetically down to your left hip. Inhale, reach on the in breath. So we're making the most of the inhale. The lungs expand, they help to open the ribs, and we reach even more. As we exhale, notice there's a little bit of contraction. Maybe we lose a little bit of that stretch. That's normal. Inhale, we invite that stretch again into the side of the left body. And again, we can look up against gravity. We can look in direction of the heart, or we can look over to the right just slightly. No matter where we are getting just a little bit of a compression of the lymph nodes in the jaw and around the neck. We want to keep that lymphatic system in check, especially as we are officially in right now. Big inhale. And now exhale, slowly lower the hand. Let's bring both hands behind the thighs or the knees. Inhale, pull up through the ribs. Exhale, let's round the spine, seated cat. Looking down towards our belly button, reaching dynamically with the hands. Feeling a stretch behind your neck or your head here. When you're ready, inhale, come forward, pull up through the ribs, looking up towards the sky. Exhale, rounding the back. Let's do just maybe a couple more of those sets. Limbering up the spine. Just one more set. Let's find neutral. From here, let's just take a look around our space as we prepare to come up to standing. We're going to move any props out of the way. Knees might fold to the side as we come around to all fours. I am using my yoga blocks today in a couple of the poses. You're free to grab yours as well. Let's step 1 foot forward at a time and then slowly come up to standing. All right, let's see. See if this is better with this light off. Nope, can't see. Maybe keep it on. All right, so from wherever you are, let's find mountain pose. Inhaling the arms up and overhead, big flying arm, extended mountain. Option to lift the heels just a little bit, enough to swipe a credit card under the feet. Drop the heels, exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Bringing the hands to the thighs or the shins. Let's relax our head, shake it out, yes, and turn it left and right. When you're ready, walk the hands up onto the thighs. Let's bend our knees and push the hips behind you, pulling the ribs up and forward. Inhale, arms to the side. Come up into standing, reaching overhead, extended mountain. Exhaling, let's sweep the arms back and then sit back into chair pose. Hips go back. Arms can be about shoulder height or they can come up higher if it's comfortable. The higher we lift the arms, the more stress it puts on your shoulders, neck, and head. So usually shoulder height is going to be the safest for the body. When you're ready, take the arms back, sweep them overhead. Inhale, extended mountain. Option to turn the palms behind us as we pull up through the ribs, lifting the heels just a little bit, extended mountain. Drop the heels, exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Hands to the thighs, maybe to support the spine, or walk those hands down and let that head hang loose. When you're ready, hands to the thighs, flatten the back, push the hips back, and bend the knees, flat back. Arms go to the side, reverse swan dive, inhaling arms overhead. Sweep the arms back, sitting back into chair pose. Feet might be at hip width. They could be a little wider. They could be a little more narrow. Move your feet around at any time as this can affect the way your knees feel. Inhale, sweep the arms back. Let's reach up and overhead. Palms back, extended mountain, lifting the heels. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, arms to the side. Relax the head and neck. Hands come up to the thighs, flat back, hips back, knees bent. Reverse swan dive, inhale. Sweep the arms back, sitting back, chair. One more time through that sequence. Inhaling, arms overhead, lifting the heels. Exhale, swan dive, hands down to the thighs, shins, or floor. Shake the head. Hands to the thighs, inhale, flat back. Exhale, hold it in place. When you're ready, arms to the side, inhale. Arms sweep back, sitting back into chair. Let's do a little chair flow with a twist. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, left hand to the right thigh, right hand to the hip, looking over that right shoulder. Inhale, both arms up and overhead. Right hand to the left thigh, left hand to the hip, sitting the hips back, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, both arms overhead. A couple times to each side. So we're just continue to alternate this movement. You're welcome to try closing the eyes, maybe envisioning a sunrise with a sunset type energy in the pose. So as we enter with the inhale, this is a sunrise, this is energizing. And as we exhale, we twist, sunset expression. One more time to each side. Let's meet with both arms up and overhead. Palms are facing in as if we're holding on to a beach ball. Let's take the hands out fairly wide. Stepping the left foot back for warrior one. Let's bend the right knee. Holding it here, lower the chin just a little bit. Let's pat ourselves on the back with our right hand. Take the left hand to the low back. Straightening that right leg, we inhale, pull up from that right elbow. So feeling like there's an energy that pushes down into that right foot, up into the hip, and then it pulls up towards the sky. So we have this nice elongation with almost a little bit of a back bend on the right side of the body, looking up towards the sky if it's comfortable, and opening the throat. One more big inhale just along that right lung. When you're ready, exhale, come to center. Let's release the hands beside us, stepping to the top of our mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, stretching through both sides of the body. Exhale, swan diving down, forward fold. Holding here, feeling just a nice stretch along the sides of the spine. Shake the head yes, then turn it left and right. Let's walk the hands up to the thighs, flatten through the back. Reverse swan dive. Arms overhead, palms in, stepping the right foot back, warrior one, bending that left knee. Holding it here, exaggerating the inhale as we reach. When it feels right for you, pat yourself on the back with the left hand. Take the right hand down and around to that low back. Inhale, pull up from that left elbow and straighten the left leg. Exaggerating a little bit of a lean back so that we get this long line of energy stretching the left side of the body now. We can look up, opening the throat. Breathe into that upper left lung. One more big breath. And when you're ready, exhale, slowly come to center with the body. Release the arm. Let's step to the top of our mat. Feet at about hips width. Reverse swan dive with the arms. Fly up. Exhale, swan dive down, bending the knees, dropping the head, relaxing the neck. Let's come up halfway, hands to the thighs or shins, pressing the hips back. Hold it there. Press the shoulders towards the hips. Maybe even try to feel that the ribs are pulling in and pinching down towards the waist and hips. So we're just giving a little bit of a squeeze or a hug to the kidneys and the adrenal glands. When you're ready, reverse swan dive, big inhale. Exhale, draw the hands to the heart. Let's turn sideways, facing the left edge of our mat, and take the feet out to as wide of a stride that's comfortable for your back. The wider the stride, the more pressure it will put on your hip and back. So just to give you an example, my feet are about this wide right now. If you want to keep them maybe just wider than hip width, this is a nice conservative stance that could really protect the sciatic nerve and SI joint region. Anything that gets really wide and open like the splits has a higher risk of injury. So know that you can change your mind at any time in the practice to be comfortable. From wherever we are, we have both toes forward facing that left edge of the mat. Let's lift up our right foot and turn the toes to the front of the mat. So we are in an expression of a warrior two stance now. Let's bend our right knee, extend the arms out from the shoulders. Let's turn the palms up. Inhale, straighten the right leg and bring the hands together overhead. Maybe even look up towards the sky. Then exhale, lower the palms down and bend that knee. So we're flowing from a warrior two. Inhale, straight leg, arms overhead, almost a reverse warrior or a type of a crescent expression. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Let's do a few more. Try closing the eyes just a bit. Closing the eyes, we may notice that we get a little wobbly or the body becomes a little bit shaky. So if you're noticing just a little bit of shakiness or wobbliness, know that that is very common as the body is trying to figure where it is in space and time. Usually, the mind is using the eyes to take in that information. So, our vision acts like a little bit of a GPS for us. When we close the eyes, the feeling parts of our nervous system kick in to tell us where we are. So, we feel for where we are in space and time rather than having to see where we are for balance. Let's do just a couple more. When you're ready, relax the hands. Let's turn that right toe forward. We're doing the same thing on the other side. So looking down towards the floor, let's lift our left toe and pivot it maybe towards the back of your mat. Looking at your left toe, let's bend the left knee and take the arms out. You might even be facing away from your screen now, and it's okay. Just follow the instruction of my voice. When you're ready, turn the palms up, arms overhead, straighten the left leg, looking up. Inhale. And then exhale, bend the left knee and lower the hands, flowing warrior two to crescent. So we're doing maybe 8 to 12 of these flows today. Inhaling to reach, exhaling to lower. Closing the eyes again, allowing the nervous system to just become a little more enhanced, learning by how it feels rather than by what it is seeing. Just a couple more. When you're ready, drawing the hands to the hips, turning the left or the left toe in. From here, we're in a standing straddle. So if you think you want to maybe move towards the wall for this next pose, I'm going to move towards the wall. I actually prefer it for this. So for this particular movement, we have the feet out wide, and you're welcome to go straight down towards the floor, or maybe walk the hands down the wall. And what I really like about this is you can actively lean into the wall or push away from it. And you get two different effects in that stretch. We're pressing the hips back. And when we press the hips back, we can still lean forward a little bit, maybe bend the elbows or push away from the wall and feel the energy loading down into your feet. Let's breathe along the sides of the body, into the ribs, around the sides of the trunk of the body and the sides of the spine. One more long exhale here. Sigh of relief. If there's any stress hiding in the body, the breath can take it away. When you're ready, slowly inch the feet in. Let's walk the hands up the wall or walk the hands up your legs. Let's stand close to our prop in case we want a little more support in our standing balancing pose today. From wherever you are, whatever hand has a prop, whether it's a chair, a wall, or anything else close to you, keep that same leg down on the floor. Let's lift the outside leg, flex the foot, so make the foot flat, and then open it out to the side. So it's a little bit like a soccer kick. Let's draw the ankle on top of the standing leg. So it could be on the knee or a little bit above the knee. From here, we're just holding it in a figure 4 stretch. You're welcome to experiment with bending that standing leg a little bit, pushing the hips back, maybe even lean back into a wall or sit down into a chair for this stretch. And it can create some very unique sensations in that hip with the leg that is crossed over. Unique is a good word. I'm just going to call the sensations unique so that we let go of any negative judgment on the stretch. But unique is quite a word to use for this stretch. Let's hold it here for just another couple easy breaths. When you're ready, slowly come up to standing. Let's uncross that leg from figure 4. Take a moment to establish your foundation, standing on the other leg. Let's lift the outside leg, bring it out to the side, flex the foot, kind of like a soccer kick. Cross the ankle up over the thigh or down below the knee, either one. Option to hold it here, figure 4, or sit the hips back and bend that knee. You can always reach down and maybe just, encourage that leg to come up a little bit more. Again, the higher the leg, the more we're probably going to feel some sensations in the hip of that lifted leg. Sometimes we call this a standing pigeon. I guess I can kind of see the pigeon in it, right? Just a little bit. Inhale into the heart. Exhale from the throat. Option always to experiment a little more by maybe taking a hand away from the wall. You can sit down in a chair and try this stretch. You could even push your hips back to the wall for the stretch. The lower you go, probably the deeper the stretch. Just one more easy breath. When you're ready, slowly come up. Let's step onto both feet. Shake out the legs. We're coming to the floor again for the last part of class. If you want, go ahead and grab a little bit of water now. Let's lie down on our backs. We're coming up on about the mark where we have maybe 10 minutes, a little more than 10 minutes more of class left. So get comfortable here, get a sip of water. If you think you'd like to run to the washroom, take a little bathroom break, go ahead and do so. So we have just a little bit of movement that we're going to do now on the floor, and then we'll go straight into meditation. Lying down on our backs, let's draw both knees into the chest. Cross your left ankle over the right ankle and open the knees wide at this point. Bring the hands on the sides of the thigh and let your body rock left and right. As you twist over to the right side, consider extending your left leg out and maybe tap it on the floor. Let's bend the legs, cross the ankles, bring it to center. Let's cross right over left. Twist towards the left. Consider extending the right leg straight and then tap it onto the floor. Let's bring it to center. Cross the left leg over. Twist to the right. Maybe resting that right knee down on the floor or even the right leg altogether. Extend the left leg, tapping the toe. Just creating more of a stretch along the side of that left hip and into your left low back area. Let's bend the left knee, left ankle over the right, come through center, crossing right over left, twisting towards the left, maybe resting that left knee on the floor, maybe resting the foot, extending the right leg, pushing that right hip away from your ribs. Gentle low back stretch. Let's come to center, uncross the ankles, take the knees and the feet out wide. You can hold on behind the thighs or reach for your toes into happy baby pose, drawing our knees down towards the armpits, adding in a gentle rocking motion. Take your time to find the breath. The exhales are exaggerated while we're here. Let's come to a still point with the body. Let go of the feet. Slowly lower both feet towards the floor. Let's draw just the left knee to the chest. Take that knee out to the side and cross the left ankle over the right leg. Think about relaxing the inside of the left hip and the inside of that thigh. So this is the pose that we just did while we were standing. And it might feel completely different now that we're lying down and there's way less pressure on the bones. You can hold it here or lift your right heel, push off that foot so you can hover the right foot. Take the left hand under your left calf. So you're going to weave it through this space and around the right leg. Right hand also around the right leg. Maybe lace the fingers. While you're here, you're welcome to experiment with pulling that right leg in a little closer to the body. Now, if your body says, ouch, ease up on that pressure. You are welcome to try relaxing your jaw. Exhale with a ha breath. Sometimes that ha breath is all the body needs to make that stretch just a little more comfortable. When you're ready, slowly let that leg go. Let's uncross our left leg, taking the right knee up and out, right ankle over the left leg. We'll hang out there for a second. So the body might say, this is enough. This is enough of a stretch. If your body is curious, it might want to lift that left leg and again, weave the hands around the left leg. If there's any tension in the back, relax the jaw. There is that intimate connection between the jaw and the low back. And when we relax the jaw with that ha breath, it could relax the low back. We could get a deeper stretch. When you're ready, slowly release the legs. Let's uncross them, both feet on the floor. Let the knees sway. Let's make any final adjustments at this time so we're ready for meditation. We may want to naturally stretch out one or both legs, point the toes, take the arms overhead, stretch out like a stick. This is known as pond gesture, P-O-N-D,
pond. And energetically, the visual that goes with this, if you really saturate your awareness at the belly, you would feel that there's ripples of energy that are expanding out in all directions with the body in this gesture, pointing the toes and reaching through the fingertips. Pond gesture. This is similar to where it all began today. You're welcome to push your shoulders into the ground and maybe pull your ribs up. The chin is going to come in towards the chest. Restorative fish. So from pond to the fishes in the pond. Chin to the chest, pulling the ribs up, fish pose. One more big inhale. And now exhale, relax the whole body. Arms come down, feet relaxed, separate your legs. Go ahead and get comfortable. Grab your pillow, grab your blanket. We have about like a 5-6 minute guided meditation to wrap up our practice today. So as the body begins to still itself, as the body understands it's time for meditation, first we establish again, noticing if there's any busyness in the mind. And if there is any busyness at all, again, just know that noticing is the first part of becoming better at meditation. So if you're noticing a busyness, congratulate yourself. Let's go to that familiar act of counting the breath. As we inhale, noticing each moment that passes. And then exhale, completely passive this time. So we don't need to pull the belly in. There's no contraction of the abdomen. The breath is as effortless and passive as possible. As you inhale, breathe in a blue light, a silvery blue, like the color of a cool blue moon. Exhale, see gold light leaving the body. And if the visual becomes frustrating at all, have a sense of the energy. So having a sense of breathing in the color blue. What is it to feel the coolness of blue light, the coolness of a blue moon? And then exhale gold. What is it to feel that you're releasing this amber colored energy, almost like a solar or a warm energy that leaves from the body? Try opening your palms out beside you. Hands are just a little bit away from the body, just enough to notice some space under your armpits. And just bring awareness to the palms of the hands while you're here. As you inhale, think about the left hand. Exhale, think about the right hand. Now switch it. Inhale, think about the right. Exhale, think about the left. So we'll continue to alternate this awareness of the palms of the hands with each breath. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the bottom lip especially. Soften the bridge of your nose. Soften that space in the middle of the forehead between the eyebrows.
Now, as you inhale, be aware of the energy in both hands again. And maybe as you inhale, bring the awareness from the hands to the center of the chest, to your heart. And then exhale, let the breath drop down and out from your body, from your legs, and from the soles of your feet. Inhale through the palms of the hands to the heart. And then exhale, the energy drops down through the body, out the legs, and out the soles of your feet. You're welcome to give it a little more character. Inhale, blue light into the hands, into the center of the chest. And then exhale, watch that energy drop down and then out as gold light from the body. We're closing our practice with this visual today, so just continue to deepen your breath. In closing, you might want to lie here a little longer if you know that you have some other things to do, or if your body has just told you, yes, this is it. This is the practice. I'm ready to go on with my day. You're always welcome to bend your knees, roll to one side, and come up to seated when you're ready. I encourage you to lie here for as long as it feels right for you. In closing, I wish peace, love, joy for you throughout the day. Namaste, everyone. Enjoy your beautiful day.